You ever sit down to paint, write, or play and feel nothing? Like the spark vanished? You're not alone. But here's the truth. No one tells you. You didn't lose your creativity. You outgrew the reasons you needed it. Carl Jung discovered something wild. Real spiritual awakening doesn't amplify your hobbies. It often kills them. Brutal, right? But stay with me, because that death isn't the end. It's the beginning of your most authentic creativity yet. Let's unpack why your passions faded, and how that emptiness is actually sacred. Before awakening, your hobbies weren't just hobbies. They were identity scaffolding. You weren't just painting, you were the artist. Gaming wasn't just fun, it was the escape. These activities gave your ego something to wear, a costume to perform in while your true self waited backstage. But when consciousness expands, the fuel behind those personas, validation, achievement, distraction, burns out. Suddenly the guitar feels heavy, the canvas looks blank, the gym doesn't soothe the ache. You're not broken, you're shedding the mask, and that's terrifying, but necessary. Here's the twist most people miss. A lot of passion is actually pain management. Jung called it the shadow, the buried stuff, loneliness, anxiety, grief. Your hobbies weren't just fun, they were medicine. You painted to avoid isolation. You performed to silence anxiety. You hustled to outrun grief. But after awakening, the shadow stops hiding. You sit to create and instead feel everything you used to escape. That's why it feels like everything died. You didn't just lose activities, you lost coping mechanisms. And that hurts. But it's also the moment your real healing begins. This isn't failure, it's transformation. Jung called it motivational reorientation, a shift from ego-driven doing to soul-led being, meaning collapses, but it's a fertile void. In that silence, something new stirs. Self-sourced expression. Not creating to impress, but to embody. Not performing, but communing. This is individuation, the afternoon of life, where your psyche craves depth over display, presence over performance. Old hobbies may return but reborn. Painting as meditation, music as prayer, movement as celebration. Or new forms may call you. Gardening, silence, service, even stillness. You're not quitting, you're evolving. So how do you move through this? Grieve the persona. Honor the death of the version of you that needed those passions to feel whole. Befriend the shadow, sit with the loneliness, anxiety, grief your hobbies used to numb. Watch them alchemize into depth, sensitivity, compassion, then experiment without pressure. Try things not to be good, but to discover what resonates with who's emerging now. Don't force. Allow. Authentic interests arrive on their own timing, so no, you don't need your old passions back. You're graduating to authentic creativity. The real question is, now that you no longer need external validation to feel whole, what wants to be born through you?